Now, what do we all Indians want? We want the absolute best of the best, but obviously budget में. We want killer performance at a killer price. We want buck for our bang.
क्या बोल रहा है? क्या बोल रहा है? Buck for our bang. कुछ
Buck for our bang.
Bang for our buck, बाबा. किसको ले लिया रे ये?
Yes, we want bang for our buck, and it seems like the ASUS guys have been listening to us because this is the new ASUS Gaming V16, their brand new gaming laptop, and on paper, this is just pure value for money, but there's gotta be some catch, right? Alright, time for the price. This comes in both Core 5 and Core 7 variants with a starting price of rupees 84,999 for the Core 5 variant. And yes, that's the one we have. That's the one most people are going to be buying. And talking about the specs, you get the new Intel Core 5 210H processor with 8 cores, 12 threads. And mind you, a lot of laptops in this price range come with 12 450H or 13 420H. And this is improved. This brings improvements and scores higher in both single core and multi-core. Now looking at the price, the GPU was a no-brainer. You get the NVIDIA RTX 4050 with 6GB GDDR5 VRAM and a max TGP of 65 watts, and it scores in 3D Mark in the different tests. Are what you'd expect from this GPU, all good. The RAM and storage both are expandable. You get 16GB of DDR5 RAM clocked at 5200 MHz on this variant, 56 MHz on the Core 7 variant, and there are 2 RAM slots, so you can expand it to 32GB. You also get 512GB Gen4 SSD, which can be swapped and upgraded to up to 2TB. And I also checked the read-write speeds, and not the fastest Gen4 SSD here, but I think it's good now. This on paper, the specs, the price, all of it checks out, but how is the gaming performance? Okay, so we tested it extensively here, and starting with what I'd call level 1, we played Counter-Strike 2 and I was getting 144 FPS consistently on the high preset. Then I switched to very high and was still crossing 120 FPS, so piece of cake. Now moving on to level 2, more GPU demanding games. Like in Forza Horizon 5 at Ultra preset and 4x MSAA, I was getting over 100 FPS without any issues. The sunlight reflecting on the car, geometric details and shadows, everything just sails super smooth. Yes, I kept the ray tracing off because those who really play Forza know that RT here only traces reflections from the car's body, and that too only when the car has a mirror-like finish. But it's not that I wanted to remain very kind to the GPU, so I moved up a level. I switched to 8x MSAA and the FPS was still touching 100 at times. Great. Now with RDR2, I was again able to get around 100 FPS. I enabled NVIDIA Reflex low latency, quality preset was at 50%, and DLSS was set to performance mode. Now before you say, come on Rupesh, I moved DLSS to quality mode too. The game looks incredible. The details, the terrains, the weapons, everything looks good. However, do know that you need to switch to DX12 API for getting this performance. And finally, Cyberpunk 2077, the OG GPU eater. I know you're keeping your expectations low for it, and the game is obviously very intensive on both CPU and GPU, but hey, check out what I found. So this is the game running at ray tracing ultra settings, and as you can see, the FPS is around the 40s, and this is with the field of view set to 90. Yes, I need that extra field of view, don't judge. But setting the graphics to low ray tracing brings the FPS to around 70, and it made the game playable and pretty good. I mean, you know how demanding this game is, and to be honest, ray tracing should ideally be off to get the best performance on an RTX 4050 laptop, so this is pretty good. What I also noticed that even after lots of gaming, especially after playing something like Cyberpunk, the temperature outside remains pretty well managed. I mean, there is some warmness on the F2, F5 keys on the top, but it's nothing uncomfortable, especially around the WASD keys. Even the CPU temperatures remain under control, especially with the big heat pipes, the 2 fans, and with the 2 separate heat vents, the cooling is pretty fast too. Now there is the usual fan noise, which is obviously there, but if you want to switch between the different fan modes, you can use function plus F. So the point is the game performance is solid, and what's great is even when you're not gaming, everything runs on silent and everything runs well, a ton of tabs, multitasking, you name it. But there is obviously more to a gaming laptop, right? So display-wise, I like the narrow bezels, and the specs are what you'd expect from a gaming laptop like this. This has a big 16-inch matte IPS display with a 144Hz refresh rate, and for gaming it makes sense. The response time is good, no lag, no screen tearing, and I also like how the colors are consistent from a wide range of viewing angles. So games look good, watching content is great, but at 45% NTSC coverage, this is obviously not aimed at creators. Also, the brightness at 300 nits is decent enough, adequate most of the times, but yes, in bright rooms and nighttime missions, you do kind of feel the need for a little extra brightness. Now coming to the design, this has a very classy, understated design. There's no RGB here. And this can be good for both male and female gamers who want a gaming laptop but want a simpler design that does not get all that attention. The matte black finish all around is also something I like, but yes, this kind of silky texture does attract fingerprints. I mean, it's easy to clean, but you have to clean it to look all nice and shiny. Now this is a big 16-inch laptop, but at 1.95 kgs, this is lighter than most gaming laptops which weigh what, 2.3, 2.5 kgs. Also, the build quality here is solid. Yes, it is all plastic, but it is military grade certified. Also, the lid opens with one hand and goes all the way up to 180 degrees. There is some wobble though, but not a big deal if you ask me. Now all that is good, but where is the gaming vibe, you ask, right? Well, it is in this keyboard. So this has got a full-size keyboard with a numpad, a dedicated Copilot key, and I really like its turbo blue neon backlighting. I know, not RGB, but it's got 3 levels of backlight, looks great while gaming, and the transparent caps on WASD and arrow keys add to the personality and also kind of help you find them faster. And this is a good keyboard for everything. It's well balanced, the keys are well spaced out, so no accidental presses, the dished keycaps are comfortable for typing, and the 1.7mm travel brings that tactile feedback you want. The touchpad is also killer. It is huge and responsive. All the Windows gestures work well and has these smart gestures we have seen in other ASUS laptops, but not on any gaming laptops yet. Basically, you can adjust the volume like this, adjust the brightness too, move forward or rewind when a media is playing, and all of this works system-wide. Plus, you can swipe in from the corner to launch the Screen Expert app where you can turn on your camera or mic on and off, save grouped windows, etc. The port selection is good too. You get the HDMI 2.1 port with FRL, fast USB-C and USB-A ports, another lonely fast USB-A port on the right, and connectivity-wise, this has Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.3, and you get 1080p webcam here, and you do get a physical shutter, which is a nice touch. As for the webcam quality, it's good enough for your calls or casual streams. The mics though are kind of okayish. When it comes to speakers, it's got dual speakers at the sides tuned by Dirac, and these are decently loud, fairly clear. Yeah, nothing out of the world, but yeah, you get the Dirac audio manager with different modes, and the audio booster feature does let you kind of boost the volume. Talking of software, there's Windows 11 Home with Office 2024 included, along with a free 1-year subscription of Microsoft 365 Basic that gets you 100 GB of free cloud storage. You also get the My ASUS app for all the settings, tools, and useful features. As for the battery life, the 63 watt battery on regular usage lasts around 3 to 4 hours, which is not bad for a gaming laptop. For power, you get this 150 watt adapter with it, and it takes the laptop to 90% in 90 minutes, which is good, and this even supports 100 watt PD charging. Now, quite honestly, if you ask me, I would say this is a good value for money gaming laptop for people who can't stretch their budget to 6 figures. I mean, this is balanced without having any major compromises. I mean, you get a really good keyboard, a huge trackpad, ample ports, a big display, and a classy design. Yes, not everything is perfect. Speakers and mic could have been better, but it is a gaming laptop and it definitely delivers what you'll buy it for. Good sustained gaming performance. Anyway, I want to know what you guys think of the ASUS Gaming V16 for its price. Comment down below. And yeah, if you found this video great, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.